I really, 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 really highly recommend this car. I would highly recommend this car to anyone looking for a car on this budget. So the road trip car of choice here is the Hyundai i30 Sedan N, which, I mean, I don't love that name, but I suppose it is the i30 Sedan is the model, and then N is just like the designation. But, you know, it's still kind of like a long name. Or to be honest, I feel like i30N Sedan makes more sense to me. In other markets, this car isn't even called an i30. This is an Elantra N in other markets, but for some reason here, it's called an i30N, even though it's so different from the hatchback. But it does have so much of what makes the hatchback great. 500-kilometer drive today to really put this car through its paces. Is this car the ultimate fun daily in its price point? Let's see. Now, I've been able to live with this car for a couple of weeks now, and I will say that it does one thing very well, and that is it makes boring drives fun. But right now, we're just cruising down the highway, we're going straight, it's pretty, boring. But if I'm driving through the suburbs to the supermarket or something, it's fun. The car is a bit loud, it pops and bangs, it's a bit silly, and it handles great. You can fang it around corners safely and still feel like you're having a good time. I really like it for that. But I did mention something. Right now, I'm cruising down the highway and it's a bit boring. Now, we are in 2025, but for some reason, this car, though other Hyundais, even older Hyundais, have adaptive cruise control, this does not have adaptive cruise control. Why? Why, Hyundai, did you not give this car adaptive cruise control? Now, some people may say, okay, this is a performance car. It's made to drive fast. You don't need adaptive cruise control. And you're right, I don't need adaptive cruise control. But on a road like this, I'm going the speed limit. I've got 70 kilometers left on this road. I'm not really going to be having much fun on it. Other thing about this car that can get a little tedious is it has this feature where it can clearly read road signs. There must be some sort of camera that can read road signs, and it can even tell you about like upcoming crossings and stuff. That's great. I'm all for that. However, because it knows the speed limit, it complains when you speed. And I'm not actually one to speed, to be honest. I think I can have just as much fun going the speed limit as someone not going the speed limit. So the problem comes that if I'm going 113, for example, instead of 110, then it will beep at me. Also, it will beep at you multiple times, which is kind of annoying. All I have to do is press vehicle settings, speed limit, off. So it's literally, I have to press the screen 3 times to turn that off. The cockpit is very driver-centric, which I really like. It's easy to drive, it's fun to drive. There are buttons on the steering wheel dedicated to drive modes. On the left side, I have an N button that will go between eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode. So that's like your basic drive modes. Then on the right, I have a button that cycles through N mode and my N custom modes, which essentially are like the sport, like track mode, the off your face mode. And I can set the custom modes. That's where you get like your pops and bangs and stuff. The fact that those are on the steering wheel means that I can quickly throw it in sport mode to fang it around, throw it in N mode to fang it around and have fun and be a bit raucous, and then put it back into normal mode when I want to relax again, which I really like. I love how easy it is to cycle between those. Also, speaking of things on the steering wheel, the flappy pedals are great. So I have the automatic, the dual clutch 8-speed in this. I am curious what the manual is like, but the dual clutch 8-speed is great. The gear shifts are quick, they're reliable, zippy, It's great. The upshifts are good, the downshifts are good. I really, really like this as far as the DCT goes. And you do get the benefit of the N grin speed button, N grin shift button, if you don't have the manual, which is cool. The N grin shift essentially is the button that you press when you want to like pass someone, or you just want to be a bit dumb. It basically like holds you at a high rev. It gives you a little bit more power, I believe. And it, you know, just makes the car like super performance focused for 20 seconds. And it has a little countdown. It's a bit of fun. You know, you can use it to race someone at a stoplight, or to pass someone, or just to be loud and obnoxious. It's great. All right, let's go. Throwing this car in N mode and then into the manual mode, it's pretend manual, but it's just brilliant. You just feel like you've got so much power under your feet, plenty of power. For the 0 to 60 time in this car, I will say it is more than enough. It is fast and it is fun. Drop a few gears when you're on a fun road like this. The way this car sounds is good. I wouldn't say it's overly loud. When you're driving on a road like this, there's a lot of road noise, and it does drown out the sound of the engine quite a bit, I'll be honest. Obviously, because, you know, these roads aren't as good as your roads in the city. You still hear your pops and bangs. I mean, you certainly still hear the car. We're now on a road that's a little bit smoother. And when I'm getting up around, 3,000 RPM plus, we're getting a really nice sound out of the car. The manual transmission and the dual clutch in this car are just interchangeable option. One of them doesn't cost more than the other, which is nice. And I would say that this is a car where even for an enthusiast, the dual clutch is certainly an option. It's like how most people don't buy a Golf in manual because the dual clutch is good. The dual clutch in this is great. You can have a lot of fun in this. Some cars, if you downshift and it doesn't want you to be that low, it'll upshift for you. If you have the car in manual mode in this, it stays in gear really well. Yeah, so you're bouncing off the rev limiter at about 7,000. Well, that's an interesting thing. This car bounces off the rev limiter rather than changing up for you, which a lot of cars don't do. I really, 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 really highly recommend this car. I would highly recommend this car to anyone looking for a car on this budget, especially because I can fit 2 baby seats in the back, maybe even 3 if you're in a stretch. And that is 2 baby seats in the back while having plenty of room and comfort in the front. That is impressive out of a sporty car like this. And then in the boot, you can fit your pram. Like, this is a very, very usable car. It's impressive for a car that feels this good to drive. So anyone looking for a fun, sporty daily that they can drive to work and that they can also drive in the canyons or whatever, this is a fantastic choice. I will say, obviously, the lack of adaptive cruise is a big thing. But if you aren't someone who is coming from a car that has adaptive cruise, you probably won't notice. And if you are someone that has a car with adaptive cruise but you don't use it, you don't need it. This feels good. It's a good feeling car. It's a really, really good feeling car. If you're interested in this car, you will be happy with it. That is my genuine opinion. Unless you're someone that does not give 2 tosses. Now, something I would say about this car that might be a bit polarizing for some people is, I don't really want my car to be obnoxiously loud and pop and bang all the time. And to that, I will say, it doesn't need to. That is something that I actually liked, because there were plenty of roads. I mean, there were some roads, that I was driving down that I thought, it's kind of a bit embarrassing to pop and bang on this road. Like, I feel bad. I'm not going to do that. So I put it in sport mode. The car still sounds good in sport mode, but it doesn't pop and bang and it's not quite as loud. It drives great. Also, you can have a custom mode that turns the exhaust down. Like, I really like that I can have the fun and the ludicrousness without needing to have the crazy noise. And then when I want the crazy noise, it's there. I remember when the i30 first came out, when the i30 N first came out. I distinctly remember when it first came out, because I did not give a toss about Hyundai until that car came out. I could care less about Hyundai. Then they release a pale blue hot hatch that pops and bangs from the factory. You had to have it in manual. It was fantastic. That car was the beginning of the new era of Hyundai for me. That car was the beginning of me actually being interested in what Hyundai was making. That was how big of an impact that car had, and it shows that a sporty car can be fantastic for a company's brand. Hyundai has become one of my favorite manufacturers, especially in the low end, because they just keep releasing bangers. Yeah, not all their cars are going to be fun to drive, but they all look pretty good. Car's still quick in eco mode if you put your foot down. That's the thing. Even in eco mode, like, it's still a sports car. It drives slow until you need it. It's just like chill, relaxed. But if you put your foot down, it says, oh, okay, I know you need me right now, so I'll be there for you. That's what you want in a car that can do both. And the fact that this car has the space in the back means it actually can do both. This is the sort of area where I would like not generally put it in N mode, because having your car go brrr after each pull in an area like this is a bit, I mean, you can't see, but it's like a coastal beach town. But if I do just drive it pretty tame, and at low revs, when I release the throttle, instead of it going pop pop, it's just like a light burble, which is really nice. I like a light burble. A light burble's lovely. And that's when the i30 Sedan N standing for a little bit naughty, becomes less naughty. If you aren't being naughty, the car won't be naughty. And that's an important thing. Because sometimes you don't want to be naughty. And when you don't want to be naughty, that can be quite hard when you're in a car that's a bit naughty. So, driving this car is great. The interior feels fantastic. Oh, I can see the water. Okay, lovely. The interior feels pretty good. For the money, like, it feels very solid. It feels high quality. It feels well finished for the segment that it's in. Like, it definitely doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's like a leather or leatherette type vibe. The details don't matter, let's be honest. Like, it's just nice. There's nothing too fancy about it, but we do have blue stitching on the seats, as you can see, blue stitching and piping. That's a nice detail. We got an N logo. Some of them have like a light up N plaque, which is cool. We got heated and ventilated seats. That's nice. Nice detail. I mean, I can't complain about the interior. It's just nice. We even have a traditional handbrake, which some people like. I don't really have a preference. I don't really care. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on Caves Road. It is essentially a bunch of vineyards so far, and you're just driving through the trees, the beautiful trees, and past the vineyards. It's lovely, but because there's lots of vineyards and because it's school holidays, it's pretty busy. But you know, I'm still having a good time. Now, this car feels pretty good in this environment. The best part is people could be sitting in the back enjoying it with me. I'll keep hammering it in. I have no idea how far down the road we are. Weirdly, that beautiful coastal road that we went on is not part of this road, not weirdly, which is a shame, because it was lovely. It was a lovely road. I just didn't turn when I was meant to follow the road. I didn't realize, and I ended up in the middle of nowhere. But that coastal road was stunning. And now we're back on it. We're on the trees. Oh, we got some plains opening up on that side, on your side, the side that we cannot see. Let's talk about this car's styling. Now, I think this car looks good, but I don't think it looks as good as the hatchback version does. I love the hatchback version. I think the styling is fantastic. This car looks... I don't think I am like this car's target demographic, in all honesty. Like styling wise, I think styling wise, yeah, the hatchback is more me. It's a little bit like fun and silly, whereas this one, and like aggressive, whereas this one is like a bit more subtle and understated while still being pretty aggressive. And then they throw on the extra trim, making it red and black and everything. And if you get the color that I have, which is the best color, this color is only available for the N, I'm pretty sure. This beautiful pale blue. If you get this color, then obviously it's no longer understated and subtle. It's very in your face. But this color is gorgeous. And I feel like if you get an N, you kind of almost have to get this color, because you can only get this color if you get an N. Though there are some great colors for this car, I'll be honest. I've seen some really good looking white ones, some gray ones, some black ones. You don't often see like red ones or anything though, but yeah, this car comes in some great colors. Man, there's just like plenty of power under your foot at any given moment. I don't think anyone that buys this car would ever be like, oh, I really, really want more power. Which is good. That's a great thing. Oh, down there. I've been down there before and it leads to a beautiful beach. Let's go down there. Oh, let's put on N grin shift. Ready? I'm going to press it. See if the camera falls down. Yeah. I don't see why you need more power than that. I guess you could be thrashed around a little more. If you want to be thrashed around, you could definitely be thrashed around a little more if the power was a little more aggressive. But I think this power is great for most people. The suspension too is like good. It's firm enough that you feel the road. So a little bit about me. I like firm suspension. Like I want to feel the road while I drive. I want to feel the car. That's just because to me it makes for a more tactile experience. It's more fun at the end of the day for me. And this car has kind of firm suspension in N mode. It's not super firm, but it's like firm. You like feel the road a bit, but it's soft enough that I think will be comfortable for most people. I don't think many people would complain about hardness, like firmness in this car, which is good. It means that the car's usable every day while still being fun. Could definitely be firmer if you wanted it to be. You could put coilovers on it if you wanted to turn this into a track car. As you can see here, well, I assume you can see, I'm not actually certain. In the N mode, we can change all the different things. We have sport engine, we have 3 different tiers. We have 3 different tiers of steering, 3 different tiers of suspension, transmission, LSD, the traction control, and the exhaust sound. We can also activate launch control from this menu. We have other performance options here, like where the launch control starts. We have a G meter for those who like that sort of thing. Not me, I don't really care about that. And then we have a performance screen here, which I like. Performance screen is showing us throttle percentage, which is nice. You can see how much throttle percent we're going. Tells us our oil temp, our engine temp. We have a tachometer as well as a speedo. So I guess, you know, if your passenger wants to know how fast you're going, that's good. As well as a lap timer, which is cool, and the brake pressure. We can also say that we're on a circuit, and we can select a circuit, like Collie Motorplex, which looks like a penis. The NGS button is so funny because it holds your car at a high rev, which means that the pops are more aggressive. And if you are feathering the accelerator as you're passing or whatever, then it's going to be doing multiple pops. So not only do you have someone behind you at 7,000 RPM fanging it past you, but you also have to hear pow, 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 as they go past. It's just like even more unpleasant for the person getting past. What a car, man. What a car. This is a great car. It's a brilliant car to drive. I drove a Nissan Z maybe 6 months ago, a year ago. That car it's a fun car to drive in certain conditions, but there's a lot of conditions where that car's pretty boring, where that car just doesn't feel like it works right. Like, that car's fun on the high end, but on the low end it sucks. Which, you know, is reasonable, but it means that like driving it around town is not fun, but driving it in this sort of place is good fun. This car feels similar to that car on a windy. It feels fun, but in this city, it also feels fun. That's what they've done well. Made a car that can do it all. Obviously, I wouldn't off-road it. I just feel very in control in this car, you know? Like, it feels safe. I feel very stuck to the road. I do love the intake noise. I don't know if you can hear it. It's intake is one of those things that's quite hard to translate in video, from my experience, but you can certainly hear the intake. When you're giving it a bit, you do hear the sucking in. You obviously only hear it on the front. At the back, you're hearing those crazy pops and bangs and the insane exhaust. You don't need a manual to have the manual experience when you have a car like this. Obviously, you're not using a clutch and you're not moving with your hand. But when your dual clutch gearbox is as decent as this one and responsive as this one, and when the car actually lets you stay in gear as much as you want, it's pretty close to a manual experience. I love this car. It's so good. It's so good.